Okay. Is your mic?
I'd like to call this meeting to order. March 4th. It's the wastewater review. First item is a resolution to live stream the meeting.
Moved by Maureen McMillan, second by Brian Pekoski, whereas council values transparency and public access, and whereas the March 2026 Wastewater Review Committee meeting is of significant public interest. Now therefore be it resolved that the March 4th, 2026 Wastewater Review Committee meeting be live streamed on the township's official YouTube channel.
All those in favor? Carried. Approval of the agenda.
Moved by McMillan, second by Harold Levine. Be it resolved that council for the township of Pillou, Haggerty, and Richards hereby adopt the agenda for the Wastewater Review Committee meeting of March 4th, 2026 as presented.
All those in favor? Carried. Now I will read the First Nations land acknowledgement. As we gather today, I would like to acknowledge on behalf of this committee and our community that we are meeting on the traditional territory of the Algonquin people. We would like to thank the Algonquin people and express our respect and support for their rich history. And we are extremely grateful for their many and continued displays of friendship. We also thank all the generations of people who have taken care of this land for thousands of years. And please join me in a moment of silent reflection. And thank you. Does anyone have any pecuniary or financial interest to declare? Having seen no minutes, no delegations, no reports, no correspondence, no unfinished business, and we'll hit right into new business. Am I doing this now?
Well, yeah, so I just not sure where this committee is going, like moving forward. So I thought I'd start off by supplying council with the annual reports for both the water and water treatment plants. And I gave them to you ahead of time in the event you had any questions. If you don't have any questions, or if there's thing that is of significance, I will be bringing a resolution to the next council meeting for the adoption. As per regulation, and then what they will do is they'll be posted on the township website and available to the public if needed. And then the only other gave again just for review is the Pillou drinking water system financial plan, and then open discussion regarding where the committee wants to see where they're going moving forward.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions on those the three packages?
No, not on the wastewater or the drinking water system and report. I mean, they're the same as we get every year. They're pretty straightforward.
So there was an email that was circulated months ago, I think. If I can find it. About some numbers being on two reports, they were different.
So that was not the annual reports, that was the drinking water system. So the first one didn't include the special area rate. It wasn't that the numbers were different, it was just updated to support the special area rate.
Okay. When did we do that? That was a while ago, wasn't it?
Yes, I believe council adopted that plan already.
Yeah. Okay. So no questions on those three.
That I just said on the two
okay.
annual reports. I mean, I don't think there's questions on the drinking water system, but there's pretty interesting information in that about where we are. I think if we're here, we should probably be talking about that.
That's the financial plan.
The financial plan, yes. So we have years of up until 2028, we've approved 10% per year, which is killing people, but that's what we need to do. But this plan suggests that we need to continue to do that or something like that after 2028 to build up to build up reserves. Like it's gonna take us out of the deficit, but it's not, you know. The other big problem that we're facing, it talks about that the structure is pretty much beyond the end of its life. It doesn't say that, but we amortize something over its expected life. And the majority of the assets have been fully amortized, meaning they're beyond the end of their life. So
And per se, we don't have a reserve. Like we don't have a hunk of money other than our working funds to replace any of what's there now. Right? Like there's no specific reserve set aside.
Well, there's a specific, I believe we get money from, River Power, so that's set aside for the water wastewater. And then, the special area rate is set aside. Then there's, off the top of my head, I believe that there's one more.
there's not a huge amount.
No.
Right?
Like if we had to do a replacement, there would be no money there to fix that replacement.
It depends on what size it is. I mean,
Yeah.
some of the breaks or some of the things are 50,000, 75,000, and some of them are 2 million. So
was just having this dead right along tail, sorry.
you're on the air.
Well, I don't see, but like pretty well every municipality around us this winter had water pipes.
Yep.
And it's only a matter of time before it gets killed.
Mhm.
I really feel that, like aid and stuff. We gotta start pushing, we need government help. This is a small municipality, they cannot afford. Again, I said it before, all the money sunk into the Algonquins at Pickawak and that I have nothing against it, but there's gotta be money somewhere for to help us.
Yeah, this is all case.
You're sending $8 million across seas to help. Well, we got 80 people paying the water bills here that need help. The government has to help us. They have to push them.
So I noticed recently in some of the papers there that surrounding municipalities have been getting quite large amounts of money for water. And I'm not sure if it's for new plants or refurbishing the old ones but quite large sums of money. Do you know, like, does that come through the county or how do they get? Is there any chance we could get in on something like that?
I think the ones you're talking about, Brian, are ones that are in new subdivisions. Pickwack is a brand new system.
Lost it. Oh, you got it.
Cobden is a new subdivision, or like not
I
Cobden,
think
but
Pembroke or Petawawa, one of them.
Pembroke got one. They were a new subdivision.
I think it's for expanding their existing water. Like it's for expanding that so that it can service more houses. That's what those grants are. They're related to housing as far as I know.
As far as I know, Brian, there's been no funding for existing municipalities that have already a system in place. Basically, you're on your own to fix your problem.
Yeah, but we're not on our own because we have every municipality around that is in the exact same position.
Oh, yeah.
And it's time to start working with them and banging doors in Toronto and saying like, you gave us this, like what, 30 years ago, the government was giving lots of money to everybody, build your arenas, build your water sewage plants. And now everything's crumbling and there's no money and more things keep getting downloaded on small municipalities and there's nothing to fix it. And I would also like to investigate, I think it would be worthwhile, and I don't know how costly it would be to see if the water table in Killaloe is still contaminated. Because that was my understanding of why the system came in the first place, was because it was a major contamination issue. You couldn't drink the water in downtown Killaloe. So I would imagine if it was contaminated, it probably still is. And that to me is a huge leg up when we're going and begging for money. If we can't drink the water, if people can't have a well, use a well, then we have to have a water system for residents in Killaloe.
Carl, was that not the reason Aqua came in place?
Yes, I used to live at the CRC there and when I lived there, you couldn't take a bath. The water come in, pure rust. And I used to go to mom and dad's to have a bath, like
Yeah.
above your building there, Bill.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I remember somebody telling me when they lived up there, they would deliver water in bags. And that's how people got their drinking water until the water drinking system came in. Everyone in downtown would get bags of water. And that's what they had to do.
Well, you-
So I don't know how costly that would be, but I think it is worthwhile for sure to see like what that would involve, because that is definitely, you know, I hate to say it's a bonus point, but if we have to have water, well, we have to have water, you know, it's a little bit different than another municipality.
So how do we go about getting this study done?
I have no idea. I would put that in the hands of staff to see if it's costly, if it would even be, you know, and I don't know I only know the history from what I've been told from older people in the community. So that's how I know a little bit about this history. So, and you obviously have a bit of lived experience with
You
it.
dig down years ago, I don't know how many gas stations were downtown and how many of the old tanks are still in the ground, like they're leaking old fuel or whatever left and
I think we've wasted time over the past 4 years not having delegations at AMO and Roma on this issue, and I think we need to, need to get our ducks in line to be requesting those for everyone. Ask staff to prepare memos to send off requesting delegations when they pop up so that we can get right back in there and start lobbying the province to support this. I think maybe a committee or ad hoc committee, a meeting with neighboring municipalities be a good thing. Most likely at a staff level. I don't think it needs to be at a governance level at all, but having the different small municipalities that are having challenges get together and come up with a plan to approach together. I'm sure this issue is going across the entire province. Across the whole country.
We have been piggybacked on all the reports. As far as Mayor Nicholson has gone, as far as he's been able to secure delegations, and we're on the sheets showing that we are the second highest cost, and everything is as a group. So it hasn't been that we've been left out, and he's spearheaded this, and he's, I think, had one, maybe two in persons, which is incredible that he was able to get in. But of course, the net effect is not good. So
We should be joining with them and be there physically and
Mhm.
just pushing with him, not allowing him to push for us, like just the more the merrier.
Mhm.
We really need to be pushes, I think, because the residents of Killaloe can't afford. Like the residents here in the village can't afford to, we'll be doubling and tripling our water rate.
what is our number now? Tammy? What is our number? Water users? 81. And the sewer users? 300 something?
282. I think it says in,
Saying here?
I believe so. Back very quickly. 306 maybe?
I'm just looking up my bill to find out how much we're paying residential rates. It just went up.
Yeah. I thought 300 and something.
For a 2 month bill is 359.45 for 2 months for a resident person.
359?
359. For two of them, I paid $718.90 for 2 months.
Water. It's
Water and sewer together. The bill comes water and sewer together.
171.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, times 12 is what now?
Times 6. 6. It's for 2 months.
Yes. $1,000.
More than that.
Just under 2,000
$21.54.
or over 2,000.
My taxes are going to hit over $4,000 on my house. 6,000 there. You gotta jump on the ship.
So $500 a month, you know, in a community where so many of our people are retired, living on fixed incomes, pardon me.
So you're not on water, you have your own well?
I'm on sewage. But I just paid my taxes. I figured without the increase, it'll be $4,000.
You have your own well? done or-
Drill.
people from Cold Street, like just up from Summers is here
Right?
to
Little Sashers.
Lois Ostrand's is
Last spring.
so
Oh, yeah, okay. Oh, yeah.
everybody else as well as.
So these 81 people. So Bill, you said 359.84 for two months. So then, and 10% increase this year, or is that included the 10%?
That's included, it's the new rate for 26.
Okay, so the next year is going to go up $36
Yep.
roughly. I don't know.
27 to 28, so 7, so in 2 years, it's gonna be $400 a month. $400
Every
every
2
2
months.
months, sorry, yeah, I missed.
$100 a week.
No, every 2 weeks. $400 for every 2 months. You're paying $200 a month.
Anyway, you slice it, it's a lot of money,
Uh-huh.
a lot of money.
So the delegations and the grants, those are long-term type things because they're not going to happen overnight.
Well, AMO's coming up, so it could happen by the time AMO comes up. Could it not?
Yeah, but you don't get money like,
No, but you can get a delegation.
oh, I'm saying this is a long-term thing. What can we do in the short term other than continually raise the price 10%?
Get a delegation at AMO.
So,
There's nothing we can do as a council. Cost to the cost, there's nothing we can do to.
well, I just read the paper tonight that one of our close neighbors is sick and tired of paying aqua costs. So what is the alternative? if That's the case.
You got
Like their costs are so high now to this one municipality that they're saying maybe we should be looking elsewhere and not be, do we need to do this?
Well, where is, what else, who else do you look at?
Hey,
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm
It's
just,
not like just
can't just have anybody running your water treatment plant.
us walk.
yeah, if
well, that's why aqua came in because of Walker.
It's not just the.
we can't afford to hire,
Pages to hire someone.
Like I'm not saying I got an answer. I'm just throwing it out there and I don't know what the answer is. But
All the small municipalities hire an outside agency to do the work. I mean, I'm sure bigger municipalities like Toronto and whatnot can have it themselves, but we have to hire someone in and that the prices between all of them are gonna be similar. Stuff's expensive.
Mhm.
That's wages go up, price of things go up. And we're maintaining a system that's beyond the end of its life.
Yeah, I don't think personally myself, if there's anything wrong with Aqua, they've been with us for ever, and they've been great. Every year they give us reports, they upkeep it, and they do all the checks, they do, and we've never had any issues with them. I can't see switching to somebody else gaining anything. I think we have, we can in that regard. So we gotta look up a different way.
You know, I think maybe what we're looking at is like the OPP costs. We don't have control. We have to pay, you know, for that service. And unfortunately, with the OPP, we have a bigger base, but with our water, we only have 81 people. And that's crunching.
And when we're looking at other municipalities and stuff, we gotta remember that we have a different system. than The other municipalities. Ours isn't chlorine based like the rest of them. So.
Yeah, that was a
we
new,
just- I'm not sure if there are
I don't think so.
other places out there that deal with that.
they put a new product in. I remember that.
I think we have to push back, and this has to, the only solution is cash injections from the feds and the province,
Mhm.
you know? So we need to do whatever we can to lobby the feds and the province, delegations at AMO and Roma, and I don't know what we do about the feds, talk to our MP, you know?
Yeah,
Create a professional presentation, go in, hound them. That's what we need to do, hound people.
yeah. So I would like to know more about the history of Kill the Water. I think that's a really important piece of this. Because I would love to just know personally, I don't know if that's something that we can ask staff to help with, to dive into some of those files, bring back that, because I just know what I've heard, but I think it's important to know what the history of it is, you know, why it's the downtown core. Because honestly, if we had to, if there's no issue with the water and we have to replace our entire water plant, it would maybe be cheaper to dig wells for everybody that continue with this system. No, I'm just like, you know, we're looking at millions. I don't know what Pickwagon's costing, but it's millions and millions of dollars.
Won't be digging and kill Lou here.
Well, I know. I've got rocks in Wilno too. I have a
You might
400,
be able
I have
to
a
drill.
400-foot well.
But it's pollution downtown, that's what.
That's what I'd like to know. I want to know about that piece because I think it's an important piece. And I agree with Bill that we have to be banging on every doors and making nice with all of the people who hold all the purse strings because, you know, we're in a bit of a dire situation with our water treatment plant. And there's a lot of costs coming up. If you look at that, there's, you know, we have like 80,000 a couple of years. I think there's like $70,000 worth of repairs. Like that's not counting if a water main breaks, if and when a water main breaks. Cause that's been happening everywhere. And I keep, you talk about it tonight, Ted, I keep saying that it's happen. It's gonna
Take the
happen.
if right out of there.
Yeah.
When?
So it's gonna get pretty costly pretty soon. And that's concerning for long-term sustainability. So I would personally I'd like to have that direction to staff if everyone's okay with that, to dig into that and maybe bring something to us to explain the history. I think it would be good to have it. It's kind
Hard
of,
to say what will be there.
well, who knows, but
'Cause that's
But I like your starting point.
40 something years ago, 50 years.
I'll go visit Pearl Murak too.
But
I could talk, she might remember.
I like your start point for the basic knowledge, the basic
Yeah.
start point. Like take for example, this year we budgeted just on the contract. And I don't have any idea what is involved in the contract, but $223,000 for the contract with Aqua. Now, what we get out of that, I don't know. Maybe Tammy, you can,
It's listed.
everything that they do. And all the testings and stuff like that. Yeah, but $223,000. So that's gone up 18,000 from last year's budget. And the repairs and maintenance within the contract is 55,000. So right there's $300,000. Right off the top, that's for 81 people to take care of.
Yep.
That's day-to-day living needs for 81 people. $300,000+.
Yes. Yes, it is.
I don't have an answer. I wish I did.
Yeah.
But
I agree with more information is better to start because I think that there's.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, there could be some good talking points that come out of that we can use in our presentations to other levels of government, but I think we just need to get out there and we should start with Billy, with our MPP. Meeting with him and talking to him about how we can get a delegation and how we can get this issue raised. I'm sorry, I'm losing my voice. I choked on a lifesaver.
so as far as council's concerned, there's nothing that we can do other than continually raise the 10%. And that covers our minimum standards. Like we don't have, I don't think anybody has something in the back pocket that says this is what we can do to fund this. It's
Not as far as we're concerned, it's just the facts. It's. As far as we're concerned, it sounds like sound like we're making that decision. We're not making
No.
that decision. That's how it works.
Yeah.
so take for example, the sewer treatment. So that basically nets out to zero. So what is the biggest difference between the sewer and the water? Why do we have such a discrepancy?
The amount of people and
More people, 300 people, but in your bill that you got for 359, how is that split?
I think sewer is up to
$88.
$80.
88
Is
something,
it 88 now?
something.
88 every 2
I think.
months.
And the rest is water.
The rest is.
By the way, I do know where our ground source water comes from for a well with the waterworks. I showed Aqua where it is. It's on the Ruby Road where the main source of water comes for water plant. And they registered it on there.
Good.
Cause we walked through there one day and it was so bloody hot, we damn near died. We went from the water plant right to the Ruby Road.
Do you have any ideas, Dave?
I like the idea of going to Billy. We'll start there.
I
I
think
don't-
we should.
I don't know how much of a chance we have in getting a delegation. I don't know, but we have to try. I don't want to get everyone's hopes up and then we don't even get in the front door. That's the risk. Because it's very tough getting a delegation, especially on a subject matter like this. Because
Don't give up.
no,
To be a dog with a bone.
no, there's no give up. It's just
And our MP as well as MPP and MP,
Yeah.
because it's going to be a federal solution as well. And we got
I
to
think
try.
if we're meeting with them, they should both be here at the same time, because if not, they're going to be passing the buck back and forth.
That's a good idea.
mhm.
Mm-hmm.
So having said all of that, we need to do some direction. So should we have Tammy try to arrange, sit down with Billy and
Do we have the information we need?
No.
Not yet. Prepared to have that conversation yet?
I want to know more about the background of the system before I meet with anybody. I want to have that information to move forward. So I think that would be the first direction, is gather some information to give staff time to gather. And then proceed with meeting. I want to have all the information. And then decide what other information I'd like to have. I mean, a lot of the information in here is good, but
There should be records when and why they put this in?
Uh-huh.
Shouldn't there be somewhere in the township?
Well, it should be, but that was
No, but
5
we
years
still,
ago, so what was kept back then?
well, we still kept somewhere.
Just go talk to Terry Walsh. She knows everything.
Oh, geez.
Well, I think that'd be a good starting point then.
The history report, then we can start to pull from that and these 3 documents to put together a presentation of information to make to our MP and our MPP. And then hire a staff to just keep nagging them continually until we get what.
Mhm.
So I think as far as a vote of confidence, as far as Aqua, I think we all are in agreement that yes, they are the people that are looking after us and they have to continue, right? Because that's
Yeah.
Absolutely.
that, I don't think that can even come into the equation. Right? Everybody agree with that?
Yes. Oh, the one thing we haven't talked about is increasing the number of people on the system.
Mm.
Mhm.
I thought about that, but how do you do that? So it's a limited, like Ted said, it's only part of the town that's on it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So you have to do. My understanding how they're doing it in Golden Lake is they're putting it, you have to run it through the whole town. The option to hook up,
Uh-huh.
that would be $50 million expense.
No more.
Just following that up, how many people on this is, or, okay, so the 81 are active. How many people in the quadrant or that area, how many people have their systems capped
What do you mean?
that have the line in front of them or have pipes going in?
Everybody that has going to them is.
So the
on.
81 is 81. So there's not,
Nobody was skipped.
no, I don't mean that. I mean, was there not something in place at one time that you could cap your water coming?
No,
No?
the people in the area had to be on the system.
Okay. So it will always be 81.
I don't know if 81 is the right number or not.
Yeah, whatever.
The number is,
And the system. Because I know. At last council. What happened to late, we actually discussed and looked at. I mean, from our plant.
Yeah.
Going like. So they had a pumping station part way down, but they'd already proceeded.
Ted, you're saying, so to add, put it right to all of the village of Killaroo, town of Killaroo. So then, they have big costs, and then it's up to them if they wanna look into it. So people like Carol Keel that has a well already and good water, what's the chances of them
Very.
spending
Yeah,
how much
exactly.
a month on, water when they already have good water?
Oh, absolutely.
It's not gonna happen, right?
The
So,
only where place you would, is people from the city moving in here that would. Because honestly, my daughter. She doesn't like the taste of well water, because she's.
City water.
City.
The other thing would be to be actively pursuing the building of new homes in town.
Where?
Mhm.
And if you're gonna start putting water lines in, I know all the sewage lines are backed with rock. That's all they hit here and they backfill with stone.
Yeah. Just saying.
We,
build a whole bunch of houses, of who live in.
Little bit of high rise.
Well, Well, what we have been doing isn't working. What we have been doing is doing this, so figuring out something else would be a good thing.
I think we have a good start to get more information and then we got obligations
Yeah.
and get our MP, MPP in here and
Yeah,
look for help.
Yeah.
That's,
And we have to keep hounding.
that's the way to approach, but we have to, like Bill says, we have to have a plan in place. We can't, if we're gonna get those people in here, we better know what we're talking about when they come.
Exactly.
We're not gonna sit here. Make us shake our heads.
Yeah, we could just can't sit here go like this. Give us,
So, yeah, information is number one starting point, I think, yeah.
yes.
I like the word, I don't remember who said the word, but dire. Because I think we are in a dire situation.
We aren't yet, but we will be.
Well,
It's not
We're
fair.
getting there. We're getting.
It's not fair.
$159 every 2 months. It's pretty close. So you were at 2,100, Bill, you said?
Yeah, 2154.
And I think Cobbin was just over 3. If I'm not mistaken, it was somewhere around that number.
3,000 a year?
Yeah, we were second on the list.
I don't know what they're paying in MV in Barry's Bay because they have metered water.
Yeah.
I believe that bills are similar to our bills.
Is water run home?
Were you on a well?
I think we're all on wells here.
Yeah, mine went dry.
Oh dear.
Well, it's back, but we put a sand point in, but the lake is so low.
Wow.
Okay,
We get hooked up to Killaloo.
Yeah,
People run it around like.
or I'll get a garden hose to hook up to my tap.
We'll talk to Fire Chief Bob and see if he's got a hose that can reach. So if we're all done that, I just have one question. On the back of the budget document I gave out last night. So I had a question as far as the budget dollars, not the actual, just the budgeted dollars. So the sewer, with the difference between revenue and expenses was $1,500. The difference between the revenue and expenses for water was 61,000. And that was including already a transfer from reserves of just under 13,000. So does that happen every year that there's a difference like that? If we could, that would be good. Because from my understanding is that water and sewer are supposed to zero out. After the Walkerton thing, they set down certain rules or whatever. I forget what the rule number is, but it's an amendment of some sort. And water and sewer revenue expenses are supposed to net to zero. But, and I know we have money in the one reserve that we just started last year. We finally had a balance in it. Anyways, so if we could check that special area rate. So I don't know if that's like 61,000 to 61,000.
Supposed to come back revenue neutral.
Revenue neutral. So
It's impossible.
I don't know how we can make it work. That's all. Like we already put roughly 13,000 from reserves to make it where we are, but yet we're still 62,000 difference. Now, is that formula, because there's expense and capital, right? If I'm not mistaken, in those accounts. So the expense should stay in, but the capital moves on. Yeah. In the actual, right? But I wonder, and I know the budget should be the same way too, I think. I'm just throwing that out there, see if anything sticks. But if we could check that, that would be good. Does anyone have anything else to add to the? No, Okey dokey. Do we want to set another meeting date?
No, I think staff can bring those reports to full council. At some point in the future when
Council can confirm.
and council can determine what the next steps are. I don't think we need a special meeting.
Motion for adjournment.
Second by Maureen, on motion to adjourn the water wastewater committee meeting of March 4th, 2026 for the skill of labor game insurance.
All in favor? Carried.
You're allowed to put your hand up for that.